I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the living God of Israel. Yahweh Shai is the true name of the one that everyone ignorantly called Jesus. Reason is because the letter J was created in 1524. The Bible as we know it is way older than 1524, so we know his name couldn't have been Jesus. And Rakakwadash is the proper way that you say Holy Spirit in the Paleo-Hebrew. Second and foremost, I want to pay homage to all the great men that came before me in your previous lifetimes, all of the great kings, prophets, seers, priests, all of those honorable men that came before me in your previous lifetimes, giving you guys the same game and same prophecies that I'm giving to you today in your modern day lifetime. Gotta pay homage to those men. Yeah, man, I'm back in the portal. You understand me? Today I want to deal with prophecy. Dealing with what's going on with the war in Iran. You know, I'm being urged to really just talk about prophecy. And for all you guys that don't know, that war is going to stretch out for about, you know, the Pentagon say about 100 days. It's gonna be longer than that. Might quiet down a little bit, but I doubt that too, because things are speeding up. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai is getting rid of what he's doing it right now. He's taking away the kingdom of Esau, who is the Caucasian man biblically. His name is Esau, Edom, right? But yeah, prophecy is really popping off. We are currently in World War III. If you don't know that, I'm just putting you on game about that. If you under a rock somewhere, we are currently in World War III. We are in the beginning stages of World War III. But the climax of World War III, which are the nuclear missiles, totally destroying America. From the 10 horns, the 7 heads and the 10 horns, right? Which are the EU and NATO nations, right? They're going to turn on America, right? Her allies are going to turn on her, along with the BRIC nations, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and they're going to shoot missiles on the United States of America, which is the whore that rode on the back of the beast, right? With the 7 heads and 10 horns, okay? But first I want to get this right here, because the National Guard is going to be inside of all the states of the United States of America. I'm going to read this right quick. It say by April 1st, 2026, right, next month, the Pentagon is scheduled to have a 23,500 member National Guard reaction force fully operational to respond to domestic civil unrest across the United States. This large-scale initiative ordered by the Trump administration in late 2025 represents a significant expansion of the National Guard's domestic mission, right? Key components and readiness, operational deadline, while a smaller 200-member Federal Quick Reaction Force, QRF, was tasked with being ready by January 1st, 2026 of this year. The broader 23,500 member force is slated for completion by April 1st, 2026. I mean, you know why, right? Because civil unrest. Right? By the time April 1st come around here, a lot of y'all, man, the way this shit going, there's already draft talks, right? Gas is already shooting off the roof because the Strait of Hormuz is currently shut down, right? Over there. So all of our gas prices and food products and everything, they're about to go sky high because oil is a commodity. And it's basically going to bankrupt the United States of America. This is what this war right now is going to do. It's going to really, fuck bankrupt. That's the wrong word I use. It's going to collapse, right? The United States economy, which it has to happen because the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, has to come, right? It has to manifest, right? They already got the RFID chip already here. They just need what's going on to happen to be able to usher it in, okay? Right now, we've been going through gradualism. I asked my partner the other day, I say, name one store that you have went into that you haven't seen a chip reader, right? Name one store where you went to pay for something and they didn't have a chip reader. Right? This is the time that we're in right now. I want to get matter of fact, let me continue reading. Force composition: every state and territory is required to contribute personnel, with most states providing approximately 500 National Guard members to the force. Specialized training: units are undergoing mandatory civil disturbance training, which includes crowd management and riot control tactics, use of non-lethal weapons such as tasers, pepper spray, and riot batons, de-escalation of force techniques. And that's not going. They look, man, after a while, even the National Guard gon' riot, right? So they gonna have to send in the peacekeepers. You know what I'm saying? And I think Trump already have reached out to the peacekeepers. If you're not brushed up on who the peacekeepers are, they are a military, a specialized military that comes into countries that are falling from within. The United States of America is falling from within. I mean, yeah, you might go outside right now, you see motherfuckers jogging and, you know, smiling and, you know, playing NBA YoungBoy and doing the most and everything like that, right? Living their life, right? Going to church still, right? Going to restaurants. You might see all these things going on, but internally, the United States of America is falling faster than what anybody can really think about. The chosen one, you know, Donald J. Trump, DJ Trump, who was chosen by the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is doing a fabulous job with bringing this motherfucker down. He's doing a beautiful job. Shout out to DJ Trump, man. But I want to get some videos right quick. Matter of fact, that's the brother video. I want to get let me get this. Well, Apostle Tahar. Where's Apostle Tahar? I gotta go on my light. Here you go, right here. So this video right here that I'm gonna play. This is Apostle Tahar, and the reason why I'm playing this video is because Apostle Tahar is gonna give you guys a mapping of prophetic scriptures. Your preacher ain't giving you this. Right? I just rolled by a church earlier today, out here in Dallas, Texas. One of the biggest churches out here, Abak, right? And another one is what's the name of that church? Fellowship West, I want to say. But nothing but black people, right? Nothing but black people, Latinos too. That got the slightest idea about they're living in one of the most prophetic times in human history. Some of you guys watching these churches online, right? If these scriptures that Apostle Tahar, the Honorable Apostle Tahar, is about to name, your preacher will never tell you about these scriptures because they don't know. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. They don't know about the 7 heads. And if you ask any preacher, what is the 7 heads and 10 horns in the Bible, right? They don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some of your Hebrew Israelite camps don't know. That's why, you know, I rock with Great Millstone. I rock with GMS. You know what I'm saying? Because they do have the truth when it comes down to prophecy. When it comes down to the new covenant, I mean, you know, I differ from that, you know, but when it comes to prophecy and history, they got it. They got it. They got the 100% truth. I asked before I play the video, I gotta say this because I know it's Hebrew Israelites that listening to me too. I asked a IUIC brother like about a couple of days ago. I asked him, I say, because a brother that I know that he's like an elder brother to me when it comes down to mechanic work. He's in tune to IUIC. If you don't know who IUIC is, they are a Hebrew Israelite group, one of the biggest Hebrew Israelite groups, but they don't know shit. They don't know prophecy at all. Dumb as fuck. So I asked the brother, he was on the phone, and they were setting up for camp, and he say, man, is anything you want to ask him? I say, yeah. So before I open my mouth, it's like the Lord put it in my mouth to ask him, you know, to ask the guy, what is the mark of the beast? So instantly he was like, man, well, you know, God got a mark too. I say, yeah, I know God got a mark. I say, but I'm not talking about Ezekiel 9 and 4. I'm not talking about the Dawah. I'm talking about Revelation 13 and 16, right? Even though you got the word mark in Revelation 13 and 16, and you got the same word mark in Ezekiel 9 and 4, them are two different words in the Greek. But if you're not studying right, and shout out to Great Millstone, shout out to GMS, because they strive on looking up words in the Greek. They strive on going into the blue letter. You know what I'm saying? You know, to make the distinguishment. Like, that's why the Christian church is so fucked up, because when they read the word Gentile, they not understanding that that word has multiple definitions. But if you don't know that, you only gonna follow one definition. You know what I'm saying? That's why they fucked up. That's why they gonna get these nukes. They gonna get the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, because they don't understand prophecy. They don't know what the fuck is going on. But I'm gonna let Apostle Tahar. But hold up. I gotta rewind it. Back to the brother, right, with the IUIC brother. So I let him break down Ezekiel 9 and 4. So I told him, look, that word is the Y. That means exempt from judgment. But the word in Revelation 13:16 is charagma, which means an incision in the flesh, which means they're going to put something inside of your flesh where you're not going to, that thing that they're putting inside of your flesh, you're not going to be able to buy or sell without it. So he say, well, what is the mark of the beast? You know, what he say, first we got to figure out what is the beast. I said, well, you tell me that. You the teacher. You supposed to tell me that information. You the teacher. He didn't know what the beast was. So I had to explain to him that the beast is the system, right? The system that the 7 heads and the 10 horns are putting together. You know what I'm saying? It's the beast system, right? And the mark of the beast is going to be the glue to that system, right? So he was like, well, who is the 7 heads and the 10 horns? I say the EU and NATO nations. I named the 7 heads, and I'm going to name it for you guys. The 7 heads is Greece, Rome, Germania Major, Germania Minor, France, Spain, and Britain. And the little horn that came from out of that was America. You get that in Daniel chapter 7, right? I got a whole video on my channel. I'm breaking down Daniel chapter 7. You know what I'm saying? A prophetic scripture, right? If Daniel, the chapter is a time traveling chapter. If you want to go to the past, present, and future, all you need is Daniel chapter 7. Right? But you need the prophets to be able to break that down to you, like the brother Philip was breaking it down to the Ethiopian eunuch, right? The Ethiopian eunuch had the Bible, he was reading it, but he couldn't understand it because he needed a prophet to break down and show him the inner workings of the word. You get what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm doing for you guys today. That's what Great Millstone do for you guys if y'all tune in. You feel me? So after I broke down the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns, and I told him that the mark of the beast was the RFID chip, he say, so you listen, he say, so you know about Great Millstone? I say, why you bringing up Great Millstone? I already knew why he was bringing up Great Millstone, because they the only ones that's teaching the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? So I say, why you bringing them up? I say, because you said that, you know, you wasn't for sure that if it was the RFID chip or not. I say, so why you bringing up Great Millstone? If you bringing up Great Millstone, that means that you done been listening and you done heard them say it. He say, yeah, I have. You know, they the only ones talk about it. I say, right. I say, because they got the 100% truth. He say, so the rest of us is wrong? I say, you motherfucking right, y'all wrong. Nigga, I'm not about to bite my motherfucking tongue. You understand me? So I was like, bro, I say, how you gonna call yourself a teacher and teach the people? I say, but when you don't know fucking prophecy, what you teaching them? What the fuck are you telling them? Right? So he was like, well, we read the word verbatim. I say, okay. I say, so since you saying you read the word verbatim, I say, when you talking about Babylon the Great, and you reading that verbatim, I say, you not gonna go in there and break that down to the people and let them know that's talking about America? He got quiet. I say, are you there? He say, yeah, I'm there. I say, aren't you gonna do that? He say, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna let the people know that's America. I say, why you can't let them know that the mark of the beast in Revelation 13 and 16, right, is the RFID chip? He said, well, how I'm supposed to know that's the RFID chip? I say, faith, nigga. And that's what you motherfuckers out there lacking today. Faith. If you don't have faith, you're not going to get these prophecies. But I'm going to let Apostle Tahar give you guys a mapping of prophetic scriptures that your puss-ass preacher ain't going to give you. And a lot of these puss-ass Hebrew Israelite camps ain't going to give you. I'm going to go ahead and let them give it to you.
China has already provided. So in terms of intel, in terms of satellite intelligence, in terms of using the Baidu system, bypassing GPS, you name it. So, which brings us back to the major big picture theme of everything. Russia and China together simply cannot allow Iran to be defeated. Period. How? Russia and China together simply cannot allow Iran to be defeated. Period. Russia and China together simply cannot allow Iran to be defeated.
This was a serious video.
That's Ezekiel. That's Ezekiel chapter 38 and chapter 39 in a nutshell.
Right.
And all the scenarios, the visions that the various prophets got, Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14,
right?
The ending verses of Isaiah 14, the whole Isaiah 13 chapter, that whole chapter is dedicated to the destruction.
Right.
Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, Joel 2, Joel 3, Habakkuk 2, Revelation.
Right.
Revelation 6, Revelation 18, Isaiah 63, Isaiah 60, that's the aftermath. After they go in, Isaiah 60 is dedicated to the fact that they're going into captivity. Isaiah 61 as well. So if they knew the scriptures, they would not engage in this war.
Right, but they don't. And I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it right there. It's other prophetic scriptures also that Apostle Tahar didn't list because at this moment he's talking about the United States going over there and attacking Iran, right? But also the cause behind, well, the effect that's gonna come behind that cause. You also got 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 16, right? You got Isaiah chapter 3 and 4. Right? These are scriptures that you supposed to be knowing. You know what I'm saying? These are scriptures that your puss ass preacher ain't gonna tell you about. Right? It's scripts in there that are very prophetic that we today are going to experience because it was written for us. Right? Everything written before time was written for our learning and our experience of today, right? That's scripture, okay? But I got another video I want to play because I brought up just now Isaiah 3 and 4, and that's dealing with the women, right? And also also 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and also 16. See, a lot of you women about to get caught out here down bad. I just left on racetrack and they had a brother, he was screaming with his old lady outside, screaming at her. And he was telling her that she's insecure, you know, he ain't fucking no hoes, and you know, but he's screaming at the top of his lungs to this woman. And he's saying that he a rapper, you know, and hoes gonna come, but he ain't fucking none of them hoes and all that and everything like that. And he's screaming at the top of his lungs to this woman. Everybody at the racetrack getting gas, we all looking like, man, why the fuck is you doing it? You know, and it made me, it hit me in my mind. I was like, man, you know what, Lord, I'm not trying to go through that. I'm not trying to argue with no woman. I'm not trying to raise my blood pressure up, you know, because his blood pressure was raised up to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? I seen all the veins popping out of his motherfucking head, right? But in the coming days, right, real soon, because this draft about to pick up, and the brother looked young. He looked like he about to go to the draft. And even guys that's my age, you know, that's in their early to mid and late 30s, we still not out the draft age, because